All right, let's talk about how to get your offer accepted in a really competitive market. Specifically, if you have a buyer that's looking in a price range that you know it's going to go quick, there's going to be multiple offers day one, you got to be right on top of it. How do you win every single time? Let's talk about it. All right, step one, make sure your buyer is actually qualified, not pre-qualified, but actually qualified. I don't know if you know this, but there's some lenders who will pre-qualify their people. They don't actually check into any real details. They'll quickly give them a letter. If your person is qualified through Quicken or one of these other really fast, big national ones where they're not really digging in and doing research, ask your buyer to go with a local lender that all of the agents in your area know and love, that they trust, that has a reputation of closing on time every time. And then ask that lender, before you put this offer in, to really dig deep and make sure they feel like they're fully qualified. There's no issues along the way. That way, when your lender talks to the listing agent later, they can come across with a lot of sincerity and confidence that this is going to close, no questions asked. So that's first step, make sure they're really qualified. Second step, in your contract, don't ask for silly things. Don't be ridiculous with the things that you're asking. Don't ask for the moon or any sorts of crazy things on, like, inside of the house, curtains or blinds or these things. Like, obviously do what your client wants, but don't get crazy with it. In your contract, offer a shorter inspection window and a shorter closing. The quicker this thing can happen, the more at peace the listing agent feels or the seller feels, the better chance you have at winning this deal. This is a great one on your offer price. If you feel like it's priced correctly to start with, consider going over asking price. Some people hit asking price plus $100 or plus $1. Some people, if they really want this house, they'll go over and they'll actually write in, we will pay $500 above the highest fully qualified offer that you receive, which is great because you still have a chance in the inspection period to back out as if nothing happened, but it's a surefire way to get the winning offer. Okay, last piece of making your contract exciting is earnest money. Help your client understand the importance of earnest money and how much earnest money they can add on there to make the seller feel really confident in them. Put it as high as possible. You know that 1% is the typical one, so hopefully 1% or even a little bit better. Help them understand the risks of putting in more earnest money, but also the high probability of them getting that back out during the inspection period and all that kind of stuff based on the contract. All right, are you ready for the next tip? This one is really difficult, okay? And the next one is, drum roll, be extremely nice. That's right, you heard it right. Be extremely nice, specifically to the listing agent. So you know how it is. You've got a really hot property, you got a lot of stuff going on, and somebody that you love and that you trust and is a great agent is trying to win that deal. You're going to put in a good word for them with your seller client, right? Now, legally, you have to pass on every offer that comes your way unless the client specifies some other thing. But the thing is, if you aren't coming across to the agent as a warm, friendly, happy, nice person to work with, they're thinking in the back of their mind, I'm going to have to work with this agent for the next 6 weeks. And if you come across rude, if you come across short, if you come across demanding, there's a chance your offer might get buried just a little bit in the midst of all of the offers. If you are extremely nice and you are warm and friendly and kind, your offer is going to come across much better from the listing agent to the seller. I promise you it's going to pay off. Last piece of being nice is call, text, and email. Communicate very well to the listing agent. So if you know that an offer's in the works, let them know it's in the works. Shoot them a text whenever you send it their way. Make a phone call. Make sure they got the email. Make sure they don't have any questions. Give them a summary in the email so they don't have to go do all the work for themselves. Make it as easy as possible for them to communicate your offer to their clients. All right? Next tip. And I love this tip. Have your buyer's lender call the listing agent after you send your offer to the listing agent. Okay, this is genius. I heard this just a couple weeks ago from this guy named Mike Novak up in the Northwest. So if it's a competitive market, he's gonna send the offer. He's gonna call and explain the offer. He's gonna make sure everything came through, and then he's gonna text his lender who pre-qualified the person. Then he's gonna have the lender reach out to the listing agent as well and explain all the things the lender has done to help get this person pre-qualified and help the listing agent feel like this thing is going to close. If my clients go with this, I talked to the lender did X, Y, and Z. I feel great about this guy. He's a good lender. He was very nice on the phone. We should go with these guys, okay? So have the lender call the listing agent. Next up, handwritten letter to seller. Genius. Check this out. Have your client write a handwritten letter. I know you've probably heard it before. I know it's very simple, but the more that you can get your buyer emotionally connected with the seller, the better chance that the seller is going to feel like these people are the ones that should buy this house. And oftentimes, having them write a letter from the heart to the seller cares about their house and they want their house to go to the right person. So this can be such a huge and helpful thing. Always write a letter if you're really competing. All right, so I hope that is helpful. I know that there's simple little tips. They're just little tiny tricks that are going to help you win in those competitive markets on a consistent basis. Make a little checklist for yourself. Remember to work yourself through them and keep those things in mind. And I promise you they're going to pay off. Let me know how it works for you. Thanks for watching.